Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coaches Again Bunk Busters here in the round of 16 loser bracket. Both teams had a tough first round. Let's jump and see what they have in store for us here. We're starting off with the map pack Team Random. No more time for introductions. We need to start instantly because this is deathmatch action and we're starting at Atacama, meaning we are starting with 2 scouts. Let's take a look how much damage they can do. We need to take a close look at the villager count. It seems like green scouts actually were used to defend. We even see Slav, so we don't need a lot of houses. Slav Persian war is what we have in store for us. And it looks like 1 villager kill here. And yeah, most of the other villagers were saved. So looks all but too solid. Slav going for a lot of barracks and siege workshops, kind of as you would expect. Timotheus and Melkor, obviously the well-known random map. 2 brothers should be pretty good on mixed maps and in late game, but they're still struggling to have a solid start. Maybe even on those maps. Let's take a look. Oh, sneak attack by the Persian player here. We have a Persian war on the right hand side and the Slavs war on the left hand side. Remember guys, we are playing this without any possibilities of building bomber towers or any form of walls. So a lot of very aggressive games. Yeah, to be seen here. We're starting in post-Imperial Age with very high amount of resources to guarantee a lot of action and a lot of dead units early on. Let's take a look how they will engage this. In the long run with Slavs you kind of need to switch on to champions to kind of fight the halberdiers off, but once scorpions are out they aren't doing much and then you kind of need to switch into SO as well. On the Persian side we start off with some more than usual camels actually, halberdiers as we know it, and now the production of elite war elephants will probably start as well, and some more siege workshops. This is something I want to see in Cortical, but he is trying to get 6 up, but not really getting any in production at the moment. On the other side we already have 2 siege workshops up. 2 siege workshops up. I think this should be more like 4 or 5 at least. Fighting for the right hand side corner here is blue. Yellow feels like this corner is belonging to him, so that will be a big fight. On this left hand side as those are getting some reasonable shots off. Green is not having enough buffer in front. Put TLC in the title. Okay, I will. TLC2. Okay, did that, and now we're back. Oh, some reasonable SO shots here, and that's something you don't really want to do with scorpions is retreat. You cannot really shoot, you cannot really micro them. You either go in or you don't. Oh, and now the side attack with the rams is starting, but only killed, I believe, 1 farm, 1 TC. Not the greatest hit ever. Oh, but this castle could maybe intercept all the strait. At the moment, there's no real answer. And that's another good castle. Uh-oh. So the 2 brothers will struggle with getting some trade up. It shouldn't be viable to defend, right? I mean, you can garrison builds if you need to, and you can have half guarantee almost as soon as the scout gets there. You're also guaranteed to not damage to stay at home. You should go to the front. And sometimes you can even delay him for quite a bit. So camping at home is a strategy that shouldn't really work. Yeah. Oh, a lot of rams here. I'm not sure how good rams are against Slavs. Feels like they should all get shredded. And yeah, that is what it looks like. Well, the castle getting pretty low, but could be repaired. He has a lot of villagers around. Population overall pretty similar in teams. This Persians at 110ish. The Slav players more around 150, 160. Melkor in a good spot, but the double is coming over here with the Slav siege. That's a lot of army here. A Killgrave as well. And finally it cleared up. Oh, no, he did not. And now going back for some more trade card kills. And that's really a lot of trade cards kills. But green and blue still didn't set up trade at all. What is going on there? They don't even have markets. Look at that. Green is trying to set up markets at that corner. And blue, are they really trying to trade at that corner? That's just idiotic. That makes no sense at all. Why would you try to trade over here? Look at where blue spawns. Spawns way closer to that corner. Green should take just care of the left-hand side corner. That's just a big mistake here. And you need to micro more, killing more trade cards. You don't really want to do damage against those elephants here. Uh-oh, and killing the traps with the rams. So they're still alive. And that's a big problem. How much gold they invested here? It could be the second biggest masterpiece of a trade denial in this tournament. And the push continues as well. Timotheus and Feanor, they cannot really hold this on here. Timotheus dropping down to less than pop 140. All the other players are around pop 170. But he still has a lot of elite war elephants to maybe finally clear this up. But it seems like Cortical is just sending in more and more. And they're wasting so much gold here, losing so many trade cards. What's going on? It's still 0 trade cards for green and blue though. And they're not going for their gold spots here. What are we witnessing? Oh, those coming over now. They could get some juicy shots in. Amount of castles pretty low in this game. Only 6 and 7 per team. Did they finally clear this? Feels like it. Where's blue trading? He's putting a market here now. Well, that's just bad team communication if you ask me. Oh, on it just short. Could be pretty crucial here. Finally the market is up. Trade card amount 9-2. Oh god, finally some good Oni shots. But dying here still. Finally green is setting up the trade over here. That was a huge blunder with them. Oh, but Paladin's coming over and they will snack some scorpions for them. I think you shouldn't troll in that early, just move closer and then attack. Makes a bit more sense. There's nothing snacking some Ezo that tried to come over. Gonna love those paladins. Timotheus controlling his corner now. Okay, Melkor only pop 130. Trying to get a better eco up. Well, there's some army around. It prepares some farms at least. That's great for them. I believe the ideal strategy actually in this war is that... well, Melkor should go for like 100 farms and just sling the Persian player massively. Because to use the Slav team bonus. Uh-oh! Helping out at the right hand side means he was really exposed at the other side. And now the Rams could maybe do some damage. There's not a lot of stuff around. 1 SO only. Most of the Boyar are going down. And suddenly Melkor down to 2 castles. Make that 1 pretty soon. And now losing a lot of his full EQ at the front. Going down to pop 140. But seems like maybe even saving that castle. That was super close. I expected that castle to fall, but 300 HP left. And yeah, just focusing a bit too much on the eco maybe. Another ram and this castle would have died easily. Map control, I'd say, in the advantage here of the KOD team, the Bunk Busters. Yeah, obviously the DMers here against the RMers. Oh, some small rage, but not too important. Trade card amount 20 to roughly 40. Green is the only guy who was very early there. And finally blue is setting something up as well. Let's take a look. Is he on gold? Still not on that gold spot. Still not on that gold spot. And not on that either. He played this very weirdly, if you ask me. Okay, so that seems to be his. Interesting. Uh-oh, but another push, and Timotheus did not have a lot of stuff over here. He wanted to push over at the left-hand side. That is a beautiful wall of seed truck shop. Well, you don't really need to do the seed truck shop here. For example, Rubenstock would always build universities, so that you never queue up units that you didn't really want to queue up earlier. Timotheus now coming over as does not want to shoot the forest here. Maybe get some shots into the elephant. Won't really do the... Well, we'll do a lot of HP damage, but won't really get any kills. Meanwhile, go into those two castles and continuing to kill some trade, and those elite war elephants obviously doing massive amount of damage against those poor trade cuts. They cannot really fight back. Oh, trying to sneak villagers through and trying to get the castle up there. That's so weird. Have to push it on the other side is going live as well. Uh-oh, this could be a very low trade game here. And green deleting all his trade cards. Ay, 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 ay. What a weird game. And both teams will completely fall down when it comes to golden come. The Rambies? Did I say this? Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. That's the Burmese unit. We'll trade for both teams. Yeah, and I said before, this could be a very close series, and indeed, this game is really showing how close they are and still. Oh, those scorpions are super clumped up, as O shots could easily end their lives, if you can call... Oh, their lives! Oh boy! That was so costly. Ay, now completely clearing that up, and there's not a lot of defense while he's sending in more and more. Oh. Idling those, still not taking all the gold spots. That's so weird to me. They're desperately needing resources. Let's take a look at the resources count. And still food and wood at 83 and 92. How are they not selling more? So weird to me. Both teams not trading too well. That castle didn't go up. So low when it comes to trade, but seems like both teams kind of stabilized. Okay, both teams now licking their wounds and finally going for that gold at the front. But Timotheus could come in and punish that. We will see. Also go into the gold spot. Conical, nice reaction timing there. Pulling just in time. Sending in some other villagers. So. And trying to get the old market placements back. Abadi is now obviously super efficient against the elite war elephants. Everyone is struggling for gold. And trade non-gold against gold units there somewhat cost efficiently. That's just the dream. Uh-oh, and Cortical going for another go, and that castle was pretty low from before. Longsword man coming to the rescue. Take a look if he can clear up that whole army. He's still in there. He is the bravest guy. Meanwhile, that castle seems to be going down. 400 HP and 2 digits. Okay. Meanwhile, Longsword man, sadly, to my surprise, didn't win that fight there. Now they're back at it again. Needs to wall more, need to get more control of that corner here for the bunk busters. Elephants, well, that's not the perfect stand ground there. GG? I'm not sure. I think this will get cleared up. All of them are super low. So Halberdier is doing massive amount of damage. Scorpion even getting some shots off. Don't think that will end the game. Trade cut amount in the 40s to the 60s. And now getting a reasonable amount of gold and continuing with the push. I believe Cortical is in a good spot to end this game in the long run, pushing in that corner. But Timotheus has the higher pop at the moment. And yeah, those brothers love their CA. But, well, that wasn't the most efficient group ever. Persian CA. Could someone ask Slam or Spring how they like Persian CA? Wow, it's ridiculous how this game stabilized. After this heavy trade rate, the moment it feels like the Bunk Busters are getting onto better numbers when it comes to the trade, but lower overall population. Because they're lower in the villager count. Not having enough wood around, and now those trade cuts, well, they will drop some gold for sure. Being idle for way too long. Timotheus is continuing with this push, and this looks solid. This looks solid for the two brothers. This corner is still super unprotected, not a single castle, although he was getting a lot of stones, so that surprises me quite a bit. A weird go in the center of the map here. Not 100% sure what the intention was there. Maybe to just kill some scorpions. Well, they managed to do that. Castle down. Now the Persian player down to 4. Timotheus at 5 at the moment. Those are pretty low numbers. You see a lot of, look at those! 4 stone spots untouched yet. Or not heavily mined. And our player in blue with some troubles. Not using... He's going for archery ranges now? After seeing mass elephants? That's weird. Okay, finally the rams of Timotheus coming. And some CA. Oh man. Well, they are really weak. I saw the CA and had thought he'd need to counter them with skirms. Well, let's see. For more paladins, and they are pushing in the castles of the Persian player, who will go down to 2 castles pretty soon, and that kind of ends the game. They're playing Persian Slav War, and the Persian player cannot go for any war elephants anymore. Ah, he's getting another one up. Okay. This one will go down as well. Where are his left castles now? Okay, one over here still. And getting another one up here. He's going for CA himself now. What a weird play. Scorpions obviously the way better option here against Halberdiers and war elephants. Trade rate again. Did I miss something? Nope. Oh, one boy in the middle. Yeah, there wasn't much going on, right? And over here. The most important thing is really that this push here into the castles just continues. Melkor and Timotheus not getting any significant raids against them for quite some time. Continuing to push. Now, let me think, I believe that was the starting to see of our blue player here. Uh-oh, and now some CA sneaked around. One is over here. Well, that's not the greatest positioning of those CA. Oh, there's one boyar, still going somewhat ham. But not so important. On the other side we have a castle against castle war here. But, well, not really fair if one trap is helping out. Timotheus has way too little siege. Should have cleared up all that so much easier. Maybe could have even sent more CA over. Just think about it. If it was like 8 CA instead of 1, I still didn't clear it up. Another 2 halberdiers that aren't doing much. And this feels like Melkor and Timotheus will take the first game, and that will really boost their confidence here on a very fast land map, something where they felt like they had the disadvantage. And Melkor now finishing those castles up as well. Russian player though did get up to 4 castles again and is getting his Dwarf Elephant production running, but well, that's not a great fight. Really needs to wait for more of the scorpions. Did I see a lot of scorpions over here? Yes, I did, and they are now coming over. So maybe you can do something about this. Ay. Well, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, that seems to be a reasonably fair fight for Kilgrave. Getting all those boyar scorpions in the back, but meanwhile 4 traps doing their job. Some rams turned some work as well, and they're losing more and more ground and cannot really get this back cortical at the moment. Let's take a look at his villager amount at 72, and those are 49 farmers at least, so that's pretty sweet. He only has 3 idols, so that's good. Let's take a look at those stone squads. Well, they're getting somewhat mined up now, right? Yeah. So maybe even more castles for Timotheus around the corner. Now not a lot of buffer here for Kilgrave in front of the siege. But now sending over more boyars. So kind of solid again. And well, Timotheus and Melkor not having really the killer instinct. Finish the game off. At the moment, the Bunk is kind of stabilizing. Not just building more castles. Just grew up another 40 war elephants, 10 rams, and just run them over. That has to be the strategy. Make sure that CA rates aren't too efficient in your trade. Or something else. And just, yeah, those traps are just so good. And Kilgrave now dropping down to 146 military count in the 20s for him against the 60 of Melkor. He is absolutely getting destroyed in his own production. More barracks going down for him as well, putting him down to 2 barracks. And then it's getting tough with the halberdier production. Defensive siege workshop here by the Persian player. What is that strategy? The Persian player is building siege for the Slav player, and we don't see too often. And the push is coming over for Timotheus. This has to be the game-ending push. Guys, I'm surprised that we aren't seeing the GG. Trade is completely open at all sides. Yellow is pushing into blue. Blue realizes, yeah, they had a CA go, trying to go for something sneaky. Huge walls, trying to block that, but that's the 1-0 here for our coaches. Cortical actually getting quite a lot of kills. Probably the trade cards villagers early on. And then Timotheus wasting quite a bit. Maybe intercepted some of Melkor's army as well. In the end, yeah, the trade of blue was just not very great. Started way too late. And they had those troubles with the corners. That wasn't great. That wasn't great. Okay, Green Arabia, Persians against France will be next. Starting soon. Spec delay started, guys. Persians against Franks could get hashtag tricky. Hello Manu. Is there TLC2 games today? That you can't be for real with that question. It's showing it here, it's showing it up there, showing it on my Twitter, on my Facebook. It shows here in the title, it shows on AOC Zone, it shows on AOC2 calendar. So there are like 9 to 10 sources where you could have figured this out. But I could also ask here and wait for Nimano's response. Let's jump into game number 2 here. Franks against Persians. Obviously Franks super fast, Persians super slow. So let's take a look how they will play this out. And Franks having 40% faster stables, but still gets a kill here. The Frank player on the left hand side both, and the Persians players at the right hand side. Uh-oh, didn't have a villager on houses as it seems. Only now getting one back. Manu. Now we're getting the trolls rolling as it seems. Oh, not the greatest build up here by Melkor. And we'll lose a lot of villagers here if Cortical is taking good care. And uh-oh, this isn't looking great here for Melkor. But he did get some kills as well. And as we can see, Blue is going down to 3 villagers himself and might even lose more. So that is a lot of losses here on both sides. We're down to 2 villagers and 2 villagers. So as I said, Frank's a pretty fast civilization. But we have, let's take a look, 5 stables and 1 barracks out compared to 5 stables and 3 barracks. So a bit of a better setup here by Cortical, but not too much. Seems like maybe the Persian player will decide this. Okay, and down to 1 villager now. Oh god, and even focusing that one down. So at the moment, but 0 villagers for Melkor, who is, well, now up to 1 villager again. Aye, aye, aye. Pretty tough one. Oh, that's the beauty of Frank's War, right? You can rate so much. Production is just incredible. And they did a pretty poor job of saving villagers. You could do it exactly like that. Build a castle, build some outposts around it. Obviously we're playing no war mod, so it is tougher to save those villagers for sure. Very few castles here by Kilgrave. Look at that. You like siege workshops, it seems. Now 5 to 8 villagers. Let's take a look. Melkor could even try to send in 1-2 paladins to snag those 3. But yeah, very cost inefficient fight for him here. And now it's getting ugly. I think if he's not getting those castles up, and that looks quite some time away, feels like Cortical could be able to do a big push here. Oh, sniping those 3, and it's not like Melkor has too many villagers to spare. Now going down to 5 villagers again. Let's take a look. Can those paladins? No, they cannot snipe this down. Actually, those scorpions in the back are doing quite a nice job here, but shouldn't queue up 15 scorpions with 0 gold in the bank. I can only add 1 single axeman. He isn't on gold. That's his main gold spot, completely virgin. He is taking quite a bit of solid engagement here. Queuing up more halberdiers. Still down at 5 villagers. And Timotheus isn't taking the greatest engagement either. And more raids, still completely denying that trade. Cortical, is he getting the eco rolling? Well, at least somewhat. Aggressive castle here at the front. Heavy market usage now by our player in blue, which is pretty stupid because he does not have guilds, but his teammate has. His teammate does. Timotheus now coming over with all his war defense. Well, they won't perform too well against this still mass of Halberdiers. Maybe together with some Scorpions, they will try to take an engagement, but Green is coming over as well. Short distance for him. And now we will see probably a 4-player clash over here. Oh, I like the Purik of Kilgrave. Big look, Timotheus, a bit more sloppy here if you ask me. Oh god, Green has a lot of army now over here. Melkor still at pop 80, 10 villagers for him. 30 villagers now for his enemy in the blue. Oh god, sneaky villager! Went through the middle here. Probably that one. Probably that one. Just went through the middle. Is now building a castle here. But oh, spotted by those camels. Good stuff. Good stuff for him. Timotheus and Melkor now leading in score. That's still a deadly army by Timotheus here. Building a guard tower rush. Oh, not really. Lots of Halberdiers dying now. All 4 players doing quite a bit of damage. Scorpions in the back obviously very strong here. The lack of paladins of the Frank guy means that the Scorpions for now are pretty safe, but Yellow lost all his army. This feels like the KOD guys here from Bunk are just in a very, very good spot. 4 traps out as well, and Melkor is just sitting at pop 30 at the moment. No real gold income. Look at that gold spot. Look at that gold spot. He is simply not getting his eco up. Completely out of resources. Maybe, Manu, maybe. Brothers didn't sting the Franks as much, that was a problem. Not true. I don't think that the Franks needs a sling. Timotheus now even sending some resources. Oh, this wall defense will kill those throwing axemen. They absolutely need to retreat, and that's a lot of army. Maybe Timotheus can still hold this game for them, but well, he should have some losses in the middle now. Oh god, and still some more raids here with all the paladins. Pretty ugly stuff. At pop 56 Melkor at the moment. And now Timotheus obviously coming over, but he doesn't have any siege. He did not bring any traps or ramps with him to deal with those castles. So at the moment, Oracle can just sit the hill and doesn't fear anything. Oh, and Timotheus somewhat going back with his elephants now against the Scorpions. But Timotheus is now doing a good job with his onagers to clear that up. If only Melkor had some more traps, they could maybe do a push somewhere, but ay. Oh, trying to clear the way up here, maybe sending some more villagers over, or just maybe sending some axemen through and trying to get the trade rate. But you can just snag some more villagers, which is pretty sweet as well, because Melkor, as we can see, is still only at 30 villagers. He isn't even going for that, he's instantly going for the trade rate. Well, let's take a look how this will get cleared up. Running into castle first. Well, seems like blue will get cleared up here quite heavily. Yeah, beautiful fighting position here by Melkor. And oh, although green is sending some as well, so maybe they can still get something rolling. Yellow now trying to take an engagement, but what is he really doing? Yeah, he can maybe clear up one castle, but that's only under heavy losses as well. And some X-Men still alive. It's pretty solid for the blue and green player. Those elephants are going down, and this kind of has to be the game. Trade amount still not great for Melkor, who was struggling to get any numbers out all game long, and now they have something in their trade which they cannot really clear up, and this has to be the GG moment. Are they trying to send someone over? Yeah, elephants are running back, so maybe they eventually will clear this up, but losing all the scorpions here against the paladins as well. Another push at the left hand side, not that big but still significant. And well, trade is just instantly dying. Now sending the trade cards back, so they are still trying to hold this, but honestly, that's not how it works. Trade amount now down to 16 compared to the 70 on the other side. That's just not even fair. And G to the G. The two brothers have to give this one up after Melkor had a horrible start. Did pretty poorly with saving his villagers, and therefore they lost this game. GG. Why don't the Persians players add just a few siege rams? They would really help to clean up buildings. Yeah, they should. But Timotheus just sent his army over to save him. But yeah, normally you build some rams as well. Well, economy, not that great. Not even the trade really started rolling in. Villager high. 58 to enemies that were pretty much boomed out completely here. And we are looking into the captain's mode, hopefully. Here we go. So now we are looking into Golden Crater Captain's Mode. So the first thing here will be a global ban. So we won't see any Khmers and we won't see any Goths. Maybe the empty Melkor and Slam would perform well in GA. What am I not getting here? Hans and Slavs banned for the other teams, and now 2 hidden picks. So remember, it's crossed around. So right hand side at the moment is the brothers, left hand side is the Bunk busters. So we have Saracens for Timotheus and Melkor on Golden Crater. We have Franks for the Bunk busters. Now 2 more bans only for the enemies. Celts? What? Saracens banned behind the pig? Oh god. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we have Burmese Saracen against Celts Franks. Well, probably Interesting. So that will be Celts going for Halberdier Siege, Franks going for Paladins, Saracens going for Camels into Mamelukes, which are weaker now, and Burmese going for War Elephants, Battle Elephants. Yeah, the Saracens ban was a bit late. Ay. Well, didn't we have in the first round a double ban of Franks or something, or double ban of Saracens? Oh god. Ay. Okay, guys. So we have Golden Crater, Celts and Franks against Saracens and Burmese. Remember, we just had a nerf of all the camels. So Halberdiers shouldn't perform too poorly against them. Celts won't go paladins, no. They will just go, if they do like 2-3 stables just to snipe some other siege, but you have the best siege. No. They will go mainly Halberdiers and siege. Maybe some at the start, but I like to build 2 stables as well, but most players don't. Not even sure how many Boat Riders we will see. They aren't efficient against anything Burmese is doing, and not better than Halberdiers against Saracens. Maybe to snipe some as though. We will see. Are you telling me that Celts paladins suck? Or who are you trying to educate here? Hang the idiot. What? I'm from the master. Okay. Have you heard the legend of the Calpada? Jumping into game number 3 here, Captain's Mode on Golden Crater. And we have the coaches with the Civs, Saracens for Melkor, and Feanor is going for the Burmese. On the other side we have Kilgrave playing the Celts and Franks for Cortical. And that's a lot of Halberdiers. That's 1 stable, 6 barracks, only 2 houses. That's weird. Why is he not going for more stables? He is Franks for a reason, no? Ay. Okay. Well, it seems like Kilgrave really wanted to get that trade rolling quite nice and early. Well, Cortical won't die too early. Camels, that's for sure. Ah. Minimal losses so far. I don't think that a single villager actually died here. No castles going up. Looks like a very passive game. And maybe finally some paladins getting cleared up over here. Without any villager losses, as you can see, everyone at 11 villagers. That's a lot of, yeah. Pretty solid forward base. Burmese heavy defense and the support of the Arambai. Let's take a look how Kilgrave can deal with that. Frank siege. Celt traps. What? He's playing mind games with his opponent. Well, then he should have went for crossbowman. Why would you pick Saracens on this map? Saracens are pretty strong. First of all, they counter Franks. They have Treadmill Crane. Camels are pretty strong. You have SO. You can get the market quite early and can get very good trade there. So you get way more gold than other players at the start. So there are some reasons for them. They're good against every single paladin civilization, like Spanish, like Huns, like Magyars. Oh, well, although we probably won't see Magyars. But like Franks as well. How good are Indians in the M? We don't really know. They were incredibly strong. And now after the nerf, I haven't seen them being played too often. Saracens don't counter Frank halves? Wow! He's going for some CA as well. Oh god, and now we see the Burmese onagers. Ay 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 ay. Team setting up trades very early on here. That's interesting. But now going for the middle as well. Better control here for the Bunk Busters. The push continues. Timotheus and Melkor, look at those numbers. Normally I'm repeating the numbers over and over again. This time around the 70s and their enemies around the 150s. This is looking not too great for them. Trade is completely open here. Oh, yo, 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 yo. Well, that didn't really work out as a support unit. You think it would be efficient to go Burmese halves? Well, not against that amount of scorpions. Just need some more SO support from the Saracens player here. That's the most important thing at the moment. Oh god, that's a lot of army trying to go for another attack over here, but an army that isn't performing too well against castles. And now in the trade. Trade amount for Melkor and Feanor actually pretty damn high. Quite surprised by that. Now dropping a bit in numbers, but obviously their enemies are controlling the center, although they don't really need that. More goes here by our GMers from the Bunk Busters. The grave, well, that's an ambitious trap, we have to say. Another raid. This population is just enormous. The difference is extremely big and, well, kind of doubling the amounts now. A lot of trade cuts. And not really happy with that trap. And yeah, he was clicking on that castle, the trap went around. And yeah, the eco is just looking super solid. They are getting higher and higher numbers, and that was just a clean swipe. And yeah, the new meter is confirmed. Frank's Halberdiers is the unit to go for, nothing else. The main issue here was that Melkor did not build any SO support. Just think about how good SO would be against Halberdiers, Scorpions, and SO themselves. Just small numbers, spread them around, and could have done so well against everything that Green had. And yeah, not the greatest stuff for them. Now I'm getting some question. And oh, I need to update the score as well. And it's comeback time for the Bunk Busters. Having quite a nice trade. And they did ask me something, but answered the question themselves. Villager, actually pretty close by everyone. But military counts, look at that. 134 in the brothers. Combined less than each of them. Well, then it's tough to be competitive if you're so far behind in the numbers. So game number 4 will be Prairie and Hidden Peak Civilization, but none of the first 18 of Age of Kings and AOC. So only Forgotten Empires, African Kingdoms, and Rise of Raja Civilization. So potential for a lot of elephants to be seen here. Better elephants. Yeah, a good option. Slavs, obviously, as well. On prairie. Not too shabby. We'll see about that. And then, my personal favorite, game number 5. That will be interesting. Portuguese and Byzantines on Team Islands. How that will perform. And we will see that for sure. Because we will play till someone has 4 wins here. So Slavs and Khmer or Burmese? Not unlikely. Not unlikely. Don't like Burmese that much. How about you, Nili? Feel like Malay are a bit better. And Khmer as well. I don't really know why would you would pick Burmese. Harvadians maybe. We will see what they think is best. And we could see a mirror matchup here. Isn't that unlikely? The elephant armor got nerfed, no siege trim I think, and I remember I'm not super good in the That's true, great job last week at Rage of Empires, Nili. Enjoyed a lot, thank you so much. And now we are taking a look at Slav Khmer against Slav Khmer. So indeed, it seems like they felt those are strong civilization. Slavs obviously starting with some halberdiers here. And Timotheus is actually not building a house. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're still playing Slavs, okay. I was confused for a small second, sorry guys, okay. And we have Kilgraf actually building more houses, and well, that's just dumb. Look at how many houses Melkor is building here. That's way too many. Is this caster a noob? Somewhat, but he knows it. So it's okay to be a noob if you know it. The worst kind of caster is a noob that thinks he's the best. Look at how much more aggressive Melkor is playing this than Kilgrave. He's just waiting at home. Populations pretty similar for everyone. Timotheus trying to get some map control. And this looks like pretty fair markets. Oh, this market is super bad. I needs to be one tile over here. Ay. And only 4 stables, 3 siege workshops. That's not enough production. Compare that to 6 and 6 plus 4 even. I believe green will just outmass red here. Look at that, and every scorpion that is dying will be so tough to replace since he only has 3 siege workshops here. This will be tough. I think Melkor is not going for enough production here. I think since Clemensor is a mod himself, it's going to be tough. Oh, will they get the castle? Doesn't really seem like it. Taking the engagement obviously is so much better. 108 pop, now 260. Taking reasonable engagement. Kilgrave needs to just get onto his numbers and then he should get the kill. Vicious halberdiers, if I've ever seen some. Particle needs to take the engagement over here, and that's a big surround. Look at that. That elephant's coming around trying to squeeze themselves in against those scorpions. Look at that. Kilgrave doesn't even have a real front. He's now sending everything over, or is he? Uh-oh, and those scorpions are now somewhat exposed. Going down to pop 90. Here's Melkor trying to go back at the same time though, because Kilgrave didn't go for the kill. He went for the non-kill grave, or the retreat grave. But that won't do much against all those scorpions and halberdiers. That isn't a great engagement for them. Well, some more halberdiers are needed. Timotheus. Yeah, he's losing too much. Yeah, if only he had like 10 more halberdiers, this would have been so much better. Oh, now the sneak around here. Particle now is getting up to solid numbers himself. Doesn't have a lot of buffer. Ooh, could get some big shots in. Pretty even pops. Could get tricky. And now trying to go for the trade raid, but should get cleared up here quite easily. But Kilgrave again, not really getting the numbers here when it comes to the trade. Only one market, even having the trade card stuck there. And now, Campgrave, just sitting at home. Chillgrave. How many bonus damage does Scorpion do versus Elephant? I believe +6. But you better look that up. Or I can look that up in between games. I think it's +6. Oh god, Melkor is coming at the right time. Particle getting the defensive castle up. Are they having any siege? Yeah, 4 traps prepared. They could maybe go for a kill here. And those boyars now sniping down the SOs. Elephants not really answered. They are pushing quite nicely. And if I say they, I mean the brothers. But now Kilgrave is coming over to get his name back. Stringa. Hello. His main goal spot denied now. Trade amount looks pretty solid for the brothers. Not too great for our player in the green chunks. He's now trying to go for a sneak around, but seems like a big block here, but that's still open. Or even boulders in. Oh, didn't happen. Didn't happen. Oh, that's a big shot. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! It's so many boyars going down. Timotheus just wasted so much there. Wasn't that like 35 boyars? What did they get? Oh, F me. Well, they got 6 SO, so I don't mind that. But, ay. Small losses, small losses. Oh, and... Chillgrave, Campgrave, going to be Kilgrave again. Sweet Jesus, that's great for them. Oh, the brothers kind of throwing their advantage here. They had such a good army, could have done so much. Think about it, if the 35 boyars now come around here and snack all those SO and scorpions, instead of just wasting their life over here, could have been pretty sweet. Or we even see ballista elephants, maybe to cut through here. That would be so sweet. But yeah, unlikely scenario. Honestly, not too sure how well those boyars are performing. They won't perform too well against Bad Elephant, I reckon. Oh god, oh god, oh god, those scorpions! Completely flattened. Aye. Well, at least some survive, but still. Small losses. Very even game though. This could go on for a while. Remember, we don't have that much wood on this map. Oh, that's something we have never seen before. A Ballista Elephant trade rate. That could have been so sexy, but instantly intercepted. And yeah, well, that's not the fastest Age of Empires move we have ever seen. But yeah. Okay, we'll get cleared up, most likely. Well, although he did split up quite cleverly, I have to say. And the damage output is just so little. Look at that, 9 plus 1. Let's take a look how much he was getting. Not even having the real damage output there. And now sending in some Ballista Elephants to clear that up as well. And they're not doing the proper damage. And no attack damage against Elephant either, so that's not really going to work here. Why do we see Scorpions more in DM? Well, they're super pop efficient, they perform well against big armies, and they have an attack bonus against elephants, which are pretty great as well. So that's why we see them more in DM. And some of the siege civilizations, such as Celts and Khmer, seem to be pretty strong, and Slavs seem to be pretty strong at the moment. Khmer shoot 2 arrows and have +1 range. Slav can build them cheaper. Celts do have more HP on them. That's the reason why we see them so often. Oh, that's a massive push here. Take a look if Melkor can hold this. At the moment, his production isn't really on point. I still absolutely hate that he's building an elite ballista elephant there. And even building more. They obviously cannot really deal with the siege rams. No answer to the bombard cannon in the back here either, but he has enough normal elephants here in the front to clear those up. I'm building some bombard cannon himself. Now it slowly gets into the phase where it's, yeah, a lot about map control, a lot about wood control as well. So maybe fighting for those precious forests over here, getting more and more important. And yeah, that could be the phase where you feel like, okay, let's not touch this forest, but maybe just try to sneak some villagers over here or here and just maybe get that done. Maybe even try to cut some forests down here with some onager or even siege onager shots. Well, he isn't called JRed Random Map for a reason, right? Oh, I thought this was a pretty sweet goal, but the Boyar now should clear up all the heavy scorpions here, and that's just smashed down with that quite easily. The brothers trying to go for the push here in the middle. Putting another castle up, and those bombard cannons, maybe they can get some kills done. But somewhat unprotected now. Boyars could come over. Don't really see any raids here, and now the Boyars are indeed coming over and clearing up those bombard cannons. All you play is RiuT. Well, I'm playing a lot of Age of Empires 1, 3 and 4, but off stream. So I should probably call me Nili AU 1, 2, 3, 4. Is Ballistic Elephant maybe a real thing? And I'm just... never know. Mickey, welcome to the stream. On Monday, we have German Day to ask German questions. On Tuesday to Sunday, we are trying to focus on English. A good civilization to begin with is probably the Huns, because you don't need to build houses, but I recommend you to try out all the civilizations to know how they work and to better understand how to counter whenever you face them. Age of Empires 4, how did you find it? I just downloaded it on torrent. It's pretty good actually. I like it. Oh, and those Ballistic Elephants now heavily need to retreat. They're obviously not great against those battle elephants if they close the distance. Bad against those big SO shots as well. Ay, 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 ay. Oh god, that could be so big. SO, shoot, shoot, shoot! Ay, 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 why aren't they getting the shots in? Oh god, this was such a good dodge by Melkor. Ay, ay, ay. Uh-oh, I completely missed that. But shouldn't get too much. And maybe the Ballistic Elephant could also just raid some forests. Now he's cutting all those trees down. Only Austrian. Oh, combat cannons getting some long distance shot here. The Grave not using all of his units again. Let me see, are they doing the damage? Let me go very slow speed here. And well, I want to see how much damage the arrows do. They only do 2 damage. Right? I think so. I think so. And the brothers now enough SO are out to kill this castle even. Oh, but battle elephants coming over. Nice ground attack number 1. Nice ground attack number 2. Ground attack number 3 around the corner, and that's another good one. And even getting all those kills. Wow, that was so efficient. Look at that. All the army completely shredded. Oh, but could be one as big as a shot. Oh god, so kind of dodged, and no, another kill. Sick. That was so good for Timotheus, but he completely ate the shots afterwards. Ah, yeah, what a highlight scene by both players there. The one suicidal SO that died for the greater good, and before that some good SO shots to kill the flanking battle elephants and boyars. Combat cannon production continues. And he just needs some SO from his teammate as well. Not really happy as it seems how this is going. Well, now he is clearing it up after all. Some scorpions in the front, some rams in the front could have really helped out as well. And GG. Beautiful game here by Timotheus, and well, Numino just said the long games are going to the brothers, the short games are going for the Bunk busters. Well, they have the advantage there since they are the fast jammers, and Melkor and Timotheus are really struggling with their start. That's something we absolutely can see basically in every game. Okay, Melkor, pretty sweet move. They had the trade so much faster. Killgrave, I didn't like how late his markets were and that he only built 2. And then he didn't take the greatest engagements either. Not the best team play by them as well. And then a beautiful play here by Timotheus. Lots of siege. Very efficient push by him. I'll take a look at the stats of the Ballista Elephants and the Scorpions. For not only you, but for me as well. Next settings will be Team Islands, Portuguese, Byzantines. Interesting. And Scorpions, Age of Empires 2. I want to see the heavy Scorpion actually. Heavy Scorpion. Love is in the air. So +8 against War Elephants, +4 with buildings, +2 against Rams. So that's +8, and we were looking for Ballista Elephant. Actually, we obviously want to see the elite Ballista Elephant. He doesn't have his own article, it seems. And they have no attack bonus against elephants, as you can see. They have against ship, against stone defense, against standard buildings, and against buildings? Okay, not sure what's the difference there. And they even get more damage against war elephants, but we thought about battle elephants, right? Interesting. Let me see if Elite Ballista Elephant has another article. No, he doesn't. Oh wait, he does. So +10 against buildings, +10 against stone defenses. Oh, that's Elite Battle Elephant. Okay, I will take that back. Okay. Leave me out. Okay. Tactics. Oh, I should read all those articles. Don't forget that the profit from unit tech and shoot 2 bolts. Ah, okay, okay. Okay. I think the second bolt is doing less damage, right? Or is he doing the same amount? And TaToH and Viper played either started, if it was the same, either die in for 20 minutes or win. Ah, okay. Thanks, William Wallace. 88. Awkward hype indeed. Okay, so we're seeing at least 6 maps now. We will have Atacama Captain's Mode after this game coming our way. But first, let's focus on Team Islands, Portuguese and Byzantines. And I'm excited to see how this is getting played out here. And we're having Portuguese for Cortical. Kilgrave is going for the Byzantines, not killing a scout. Very noobish. Melkor going for the Byzantines, and Timotheus going for the Portuguese and building houses with way too many villagers here. Only building his docks with 2 villagers, and we'll get into heavy troubles with that. Portuguese going for fire ship. That's weird. And he's going for galleons. Ay, what are we seeing? And Caravel by Timotheus. Ay. Okay, so that's a pretty unprepared start by at least both Portuguese players. Take a look how the Byzantine war is going. I don't like the lack of demos here. They could have obviously done lots of stuff. More military at the moment for our player in the red trunks here, Melkor. And authorities, yeah, that's truly an option. And that looks like a very good start here for Melkor. Already forcing Kilgrave to get all his units in his docks. But at the same time, Cortical is winning against Timotheus. So we will see how that all goes. Why are we not seeing any demos? They could obviously be so good here. Still no demos. Oh, that's a lot of fast fires as well. And now going over to the other side. Caravels now doing their job, and they should be pretty good. Let's take a look at the splash damage here in the back against all those Caravels. Uh-oh, Blue is losing a lot of his pop here. Up 45 was it just some seconds ago, but soon he will be down to basically 0 military. And now Timotheus is doing quite a bit of damage. Still only galleon production. And well, it seems like Cortical didn't know that there were Caravels on the menu here as well. Oh god, look at those amount of fast fires. And no one is going for demos. Ay. And now those Caravels in the back will do massive amounts as well. That's just a beautiful team play here of the 2 brothers. Look at that! That's just pure water madness here. Ay. Uh-oh. And green. That's not the best engagement ever for him. So no Caravel switch. Oh, I didn't know. Galleons actually have more HP than Caravels. All the other stats are identical. So it's only splash damage. So Galleons aren't that bad of a choice. They're fighting in small numbers. Whoa. But well, we aren't fighting in small numbers anymore. Oh well, fighting under 2 castles, that's not the greatest option ever. All going for a lot of heavy demos, but they were needed against all those fast fires. Not on the side against the Caravels. That's quite some solid masses here. We don't really see any cannon galleons added yet. Villager count, let's take a look at that. A bit better for the brothers as well. Way bigger numbers though for Melkor here. His military count is at 70 against Kilgrave at 50, and they already GG'd this one. A 10-minute game, and the brothers, they said they felt somewhat confident on the water maps, and this didn't look like a great build-up by Timotheus, but in the end it was enough. Let me take a quick look. Am I super confused? Byzantines, they do have heavy demos. Yeah, they do. So that could have been a good option, and would have loved to see that. The coaches leading 3-2 in this one. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, Melkor's KD was just massive here. And what amount? Actually getting food. Well, that didn't really make a lot of sense. We don't really need anything on food unless a goth or something in this game goes for an hour. No demo ships because they don't know the keys for it. Well, unfortunate, Ring would say. Okay, let's see what they're picking. Atacama Captain's Moat. Coach is leading 3-2. Remember guys, civs are switched around. We have the global ban here for Kilgrave, banning the Khmer. And Goths were banned by the coaches. Slavs and Huns banned for the enemies, so no, Slavs could be picked by Bunkbusters, Huns could be picked by the coaches. Ten seconds. I want to see pick the melee and dog all middle pawns. Sometimes there are no middle pawns. Spanish has been picked and Saracens. Interesting. So no Slavs, no Huns picked. No Franks picked. People are becoming more curious, It is tough to be so good player as you. Depends on how you define tough. There aren't a lot of players better than me. So yeah, I'd say you need a lot of training. But if you have dedication and time, you could do it. Incas banned? Why would they ban Incas? That makes no sense to me. Slavs banned behind. Okay. Shooting is a possible choice on this, or do they suck? They are bad. Nili's keyboard gives you 100 points instantly. So, Spanish Celts against Saracen Celts. Interesting. Thinks Spanish should die twice. And if it comes Celts to Saracens, Celts should win. So I think Bunkbusters have a small disadvantage here. Bunk, what's the Inca ban for? No idea, man. Ah, okay, well, it's only the third guy on the team. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Oh man, oh man. Tough times. They didn't launch the game yet. Nili, are you getting scared already for when you have to face these guys? I think we'll never face these guys. So, not really getting scared. Two ways. They seem to have very well thought out strategies. Well, unfortunately, they don't know the chips and don't know the hotkeys. So it's tough for us to really judge the strategies. At least now I'm now confident going into pick and ban for our next match. You think these guys won't make it to the finals? I think we won't make it to the finals. They surely will. Like, they are only 6 wins away, right? Round of 12, round of 8, round of 6, round of 4, round of 3, round of 2. 5 wins. Only 5 wins away. Are you the best German player? I'm the best German player on this stream. I can guarantee you that. We're looking into Spanish for Cortical. On the other side, we have Kilgrave with the Celts, and he is facing the Spanish of Melkor and Timotheus Saracens. So we have a kind of cross war, not Spanish against Spanish. This should be interesting how we will see the Celt and Saracens deal with the Spanish. They should have an advantage. And oh, Cortical with actually a good start and instantly calling the restart here. And that was a good choice. That was a horrible start, losing 2 villagers even against the starting scout here. Just shake it off and go into the next game. Guys, you didn't see anything. We're gonna lose to Incas in finals. Well, I don't think Incas are that bad, but if you already have Saracens, you already have a good counter against cavalry, like cavalry. So why would you also ban Incas, which is basically only designed to counter cavalry? That's a thing. Before 2 minutes, let me know. Do you like the Mongols? Yes. Mongols are a very nice civilization, and I like to play them in RM and DM. The unfortunate thing was always that my best Age of Empires friend, to shine, was a true master of the Mongols. And at some points I believe was the best Mongol team game player in the world. And I think was the best DM Mongol player in the world as well. That's what a lot of people said, like honestly. So I never was allowed to play them, because he was just better. They did not want cheap towers in their trade? Ah, that's why the band thinkers. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. And here we go, guys. Drum roll. Game number 6 coming our way, and I just clicked something weird over here. Okay, now it's done. And Cortical playing the Spanish, as we saw before. Kilgrave with the Celts against the Saracens. So we have a Spanish war at the left hand side, and Timotheus with another horrible start. He did learn nothing. He did learn nothing. They should call another restart in this one. Honestly, like, he's not getting anything up. Look at that. He has 1 stable, and his enemy is just setting up so much more. Kilgrave going onto siege way too early here for me as well. Needs to finish those barracks earlier, and well, Melkor doesn't really know what to do with his villagers either. This could go into game number 7, guys. This is looking good, if you ask me, for the Bunk Busters. A lot of castles and siege will come up, but he could lose everything very early on, because Kilgrave is going for the kill. Pawns are here, so we could see some Spanish action in those. Trade is going to be set up as well. And now, oh, actually going for Scorpions first, instead of Rams. Rams could have obviously done so much here. Oh man. Oh, never mind. Just had 8 Rams out now. That would be so massive as well. But maybe it was early. So the Daywalker, welcome! You can still play game number 7. He is the actual star player of the Bunk Busters here. But felt like sleeping, as it seems. Ah, I got called that, how's he called? Forgot his name. Yeah, but the IT crowd guy as well. Ay. Why did I forget his name? Ross or something? Yeah. Lots of patrols going in here. That's not the greatest engagement by Kilgrave. Roy. Ah, okay. Yeah. I like that series quite a bit. Oh god, Kilgrave is playing this so bad. He's patrolling in over and over again against this. Against castles up, and Timotheus is stabilizing here. At the same time, Melkor is just relying on his castles as well, and there is no ram trap or bombard cannons coming around, so the massive amount of pop. Look at that. We have 90 and 100 against 50 and 50 roughly. This is just so tough. Yeah, they're getting some control of the forest here in the middle, but pure numbers for Cortical and Kilgrave are just so much higher. Another go. Just think about it, like his KD is so bad. Look at that, 57 to 140. That's just so bad. How many units? Think about it, if he had 100 more units on the field, how he could kill Timotheus. It's just the worst engagements ever. If he just had some traps, it would be a completely different game. And now let's take a look. Melkor is trying to fight himself back in this one as well. Military is 50 to 70, so it somewhat has a chance. Teammates finally trying to help out with some more halberdiers, finally building some siege workshops over here, something we don't see from Timotheus yet. And Melkor in a lot of troubles, cannot really kill those traps, more traps coming over as well. Okay, now trying to go for the kill, but those paladins were already pretty low. Let's take a look, can they get the kills? Seems like it, but more traps around, and saved at least that trap there as well. Meanwhile, those Mamelukes aren't doing too great anymore. I think they were affected by all the buffs that we had in the last 5.7 patch here as well. Castle number 1 dying. A lot of other castles burning quite heavily. Trade is getting started quite nice and early by the brothers in every single game. At least in the last 4 or 5, I'm not sure about the first ones. But I like that a lot. But honestly, they need to focus on sharpening their builds first. Conquistador is now going for the trade, and there's no answer to that at all. Ram push prepared as well. Castle number 1 finally is going down, and the other ones are in danger as well. No answer to those Kongs. And meanwhile, nice raids over here with all those boat riders. Mamelukes, what can they really do? Now coming over here, and they obviously perform pretty well against anything a Spanish player can have. So they just need to make sure to not run into any big SO shots. Trade cards going down though, and that's really costly at the early stage of this game. Now the trade is lower, and the Conquistadors are over here trying to raid some, and the push continues. And that's just way too many Mamelukes being sent over to clear up like 5 or 6 Conquistadors or something. Sending 30 Mamelukes, that's not really what you needed to do there. And still in the trade here, and they don't really seem to notice. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. And this just looks so dominant here for our Bunk Busters, and we will go into game number 7. Another very bad start by the brothers, forced them to play this horribly slow, and Melkor pop 123 out of 130. He needs to build more houses because he will lose his starting to see pretty soon. Will lose his other castle, will go down to one single castle, even though he is going for mass conquistadors here. Not the greatest option. Another raid in the trade here. Mamelukes trying to get over here, but Scorpions around performing quite reasonably well against them. Let's take a look. Oh, some Mamelukes getting some counterattacks done, so that's great for them. Something we didn't see before, and something the Bunk didn't see before either. But, well, the kills are still in reasonable numbers, I would say. Well, maybe up to 15-ish, I would say. That's a massive push. It's just continuing over here. Now losing all his... Look at that. That was the positioning of his starting TC, I believe. Siege Workshop is getting denied, stables are getting denied, and all the houses are dying as well. So many Scorpions around, taking good care of those Conquistadors here, who are perfectly lining up. Perfect snack for all those Scorpions. This is finally getting cleared up, so the trade is running perfectly now. Trade amount is 30 compared to 30, so there's no big difference. But a bit more of trade investment earlier for the two brothers, and military difference is just enormous. Look at that. We're looking at 120 against roughly 70 military, and they're pushing into the heart, into the gold spot. Mamelukes are dying against Conquistadors, something we don't see too often, but pure numbers here for our Bunk Busters. The push continues. Not a lot of production for Melkor, who's struggling to stay over pop 100, now dropping below the 3-figure mark, and more Road Riders even getting sent in. Conquistadors, well, I think that would have been the spot where he actually should retreat. Not really go in, but he feels he can do some more damage into trade, and he actually is. Mamelukes going to the front, not really chasing. That's another castle going down against those 3 traps. And the Conquistadors actually doing quite a nice job here, to my complete surprise. The Mamelukes just going to the front instead of chasing. What a weird decision, for sure. Trade is running quite smoothly for the Bunk Busters, and they are just in full control of this game, raiding the trade over and over again. And now we're down to 16 trade cards here at the 20-minute mark. Not a great scenario for them at all. Missing quite a bit of shots, obviously. Not having real ballistics here on our Conquistadors. Is this loser bracket? Yes, it says at the top, loser bracket round of 16. Whoever loses this best of 7 is out of this whole tournament. Melkor+Feanor coming through the qualifiers. The Bunk Busters were seeded into this bracket stage. Okay, Timotheus defending this quite reasonably now. So the big problem is simply the trade. And God, 2 more trade cards spawning, instantly dying, and more dying. Oh, they're all driving into their death. Look at that. Oh, I heard good stories of a trade, but the trade... feels bad, man. Well, they have quite a strong army now. But if this army gets cleared up once, the game is done. And they don't have any siege to clear up castles. No rams, no traps, and still no idea about this, as it seems. Look at that, he isn't sending anything in. Well, finally the X, and they'll take a look at the trade amount. It's 14 to over 70. Feels a bit like Melkor+Feanor stabilizing, but don't really get that impression, guys. Now sending another single Mameluke. Okay. They're finally clearing this up. Okay, this looks a bit like they want to do a revenge go or something. Doing a great job of controlling that area. Oh god, in the meanwhile, something we completely missed. Is just killing all the castles as well from Timotheus here. Going down soon to 2 castles here. Maybe 3, not 100% sure. But they're clearing this up. Eventually. But that means the push in this area is continuing again. And building a lot of farms here. Very vulnerable at the front. After this castle is dying, he will most likely lose most of his villagers. Melkor is stabilizing here at pop 170 even. But Timotheus struggling at only 130 and just open over and over again. Cortical at the pop limit should go and try to raid some more, try to pressure, try to get some fights in. They know they have the big advantage when it comes to the Golden Cup. The castle going down. SO trying to get sniped, but only Hasa is around here. So even if they snipe like 5 SO, what is it really going to change? And yeah, that was a nice block indeed. Oh, SO could maybe even get some shots in against those conquistadors. Is he trying to fight this? What is he trying to do? Is he trying... Oh god. Well, that's not really going to work, mate. What is thinking? Yeah, I have 20 conquistadors. I can out micro 10 SO. Well, news says no, you can't. Aye. And this is the GG moment here. No more chance to clear this. They will finally lose the last bit of their trade here at the 30-minute mark. And we will finally go into game number 7. It feels like Cortical should push a bit more, but Timotheus and Melkor are tapping out nonetheless. 3-3, and we are going into the rubber match, into game number 7. The whole distance through. Timotheus, horrible start. Melkor, not the greatest either. Would have lost their 1v1. Kilgrave, horrible patrols there. Had all the advantages in the world. Just wasted his army over and over again. Didn't go for any traps, didn't go for any rams, no side attacks. Didn't help early enough on the other side. Was, yeah, actually putting Timotheus in this game. But the advantage was way too big for the Bunk team. Trade rates were just massive, and remember that's with Spanish trade, and still they got so little amounts. Now I'm excited for game number 7. It will be map pack team random, so it could be anything, guys. It could be anything. Well, the question is, will they switch in Zunu Daywalker, who now is online and is the star player? Seems like he's too drunk to play this. Good scheduling by their team. Yoga says, I think you should finish. Asking Rubenstock if he wants to play some team games in 10 minutes. If the release call, they have to play on the same map? Yes, and the same servers. But I'm here to tell them that again. At least that's what the rules should say. Maybe you can look it up, Nimino. Oh guys, last game hype. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that. Fail! When it says players must keep the same serve, well, it's the same map. Hype guys, last game of this series. Loser of this single game is out of this tournament. The winner continues in the loser bracket round of 12. We'll have a tough time there. We all agree on that, but maybe they can go for the huge surprises there with some more practice on the captain's mode. And we are jumping into this final game, guys. It is a Mayan and Slav game. So that's interesting. A matchup that we've never seen before. And I think just going madly on barracks is a good option. Very short distance here between yellow and blue though. Let's take a look how they're playing this out. It was a small pause at the start and now this is getting crazy. I have no idea how they will really play this out. Barrack start over here. I think, oh god, Cortical doesn't know that he's playing Slavs as his teammate, and Killgrave is going for way too many houses here as well. On the other side we have Timotheus not going for any houses. It's kind of risky as well. And we have one house rest barracks here for Melkor as well. Let's take a look. This seems like somewhat safe. And the Heartstar, is he getting killed? No, he's not, but did deny some time. So that's a reasonable start for sure. It feels like Timotheus is going for the right units. If he's going for mass champs here, short distance against the Mayan player. I think the Slav player with champions and rams should kill everything. Eagles should be no real match to them. And let's take a look. Timotheus will obviously lose quite a bit of villagers here against the Eagle Warriors. Not much he can do against that. Maybe needs to go on to some more houses as well. At the moment he only has space for 35 and is losing a bit too many villagers. Maybe should have spread them around a bit more, wall some of them. But he is getting on to quite high numbers. And look at that. That's just too aggressive. Cortical building some siege works up here at the front. He's completely misjudging the situation. He thinks he has an advantage here, but actually he just continues to lose more and more units and will get heavily outnumbered against all those champions. But for now he keeps up the aggression at the front. Look at that, he's pop 130 out of 130 out of 130. So a real poor job here of really balancing that out. And Timotheus is sending his champions back way too far. But now 53 pop against 45, and he has the better army here. Champions against Eagle Warriors. At the other side, the Eagle Warriors of Melkor are pretty efficient as well. Trying to go for some more aggression. He's building quite a nice forward base here. Look how aggressive he is playing this. But he is behind in population as well. Let's take a look how this engagement will go. Feels like the champions should just eat those Eagle Warriors here, and indeed they are. So we need to see some more eagles, some more plumed archers to deal with that. That ram push will just get smashed down as well. Melkor not getting onto the higher numbers now, but will have enough castles for sure to deal with those champions. Interesting stuff here, and well, as I said, in a Civ matchup that we have never ever seen before. Now Boya on the left hand side as well, and I have no real idea how this will go, trying to get some trade set up here. And yeah, nice forward base by Melkor for sure, gets a lot of arrows in the air, but does not have a real answer to the SO. Would love to see Timotheus build some SO to help him out here, but he is under a lot of pressure as well. 5 villagers only for Feanor. Oh yeah, I can see 7 now. That was a lot of losses for him. Has most of them left hand side. Isn't really going for any strategies. That's the first one. His main goal is not really mine. Rage Pyramid denied by Mr. Nimino himself. That's why he's in this channel, because he always knows what's going on. Trap's doing quite a nice job here, but no real answers to all those rams. As I said before, if he gets onto siege to complement his champions, this will get tricky. Some SO would be needed, some Onagers as well. At the same time, the Slav player over here in some troubles. Timotheus and Melkor fighting for their lives here in game number 7. This is one of the best series we had so far in this tournament. And SO now dying over here. Plumed Archers trying to find better spots. 2 swordsmen being ballsy and killing 2 scorpions even. So he did a good job there. More of castles out, trying to tickle the C-Tram to death, and they're actually doing quite a good job there. Combined forces, triple TCing that main gold. Uh-oh, and those Plumed Archers, I'm not 100% sure what they are doing. Well, actually sniping a trap there against all those castles, that's not really a thing if you ask me. Oh god, sending villagers over and over, and there's still the Hassa from the start. Denying that markets from going up. Some warriors here, and it feels like the Slavs slowly but surely are pushing to the win on both sides. So now the question is, what Malian player can hold longer? What Slav player is taking more time to kill their enemies on the other side? It seems like, for now, no real answer against the Rams here by Melkor. And Corical is just being set up so much better. Timotheus now at 32 villagers is going mainly for Boya. Not 100% sure if that's the best option against mainly Plumed Archer and the warriors. Should maybe add in some more siege. I probably wouldn't mind Ram Boya. That could be pretty good as well. Thank you so much, Walter. The warriors now coming over, and that's something that Melkor has no answer to either. So he is dying quite heavily. Warriors not trying to come over, but there's no real passing. Why are they running this way? That's just horrible. And he is losing so much time. Sabu Master, thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime. And Melkor just lost all his castles. What was that, like 4 or 5 aggressive castles? Only has 1 now, no real production for him anymore. Pop 103 out of 115. So he really needs to take good care of all his stuff. And still no real trade for them being set up. On the other side, well, it's not looking great for them, but they are faster for sure. Elite Boya now coming over. They could take good care of all those traps, Rams and Boyas. I think they could take that fight and stabilize. Oh yeah, that looks good. How's he retreating now? Needs to snipe down those SO though. Uh-oh. Well, tough game for them. With 135, I don't really see a big eco for them running as well. Did get some raids over all the places. And now the ramp push continues. Still no real answer. We need to see more Boyas. We still need to see more SO support. The team play of the two brothers not as good as I wanted to see when it comes to building facilities on the side of their teammates, and now eating massive SO shots here. Ram still at the front. They are just eating all of those arrows and not really losing too much. Cortical now coming over and they know, okay, we can just push this Marion player to his death, and now losing all the barracks, losing all the houses here, and this will be so tough for his overall population. Trying to get more defensive castles up, and now all the blue archers even running in, going for the trade kill, and they just started the trade. Only having 24 trade card amount is actually pretty similar, which is kind of surprising to me. At the same time, Timotheus isn't really pushing because he needs to help out so much. Going for Halberdiers now. Not the real best answer against a Slav player either, who is going for so much siege. Looks bad for the coaches indeed. Another castle in a lot of danger. Did he jinx his brothers with his prediction? What did I predict? Relation not that bad for the brothers, but well, military amount 17 here for Melkor, and he cannot really hold there in the trade cut amount 24 to 33, and they're losing more and more. Pretty ugly here. So many plumed archers still left. Yeah, those boyars will clear it up eventually, and Timotheus still has some army at the front, but no control over those two gold spots. They're holding this, trying to fight down those rams with all his villagers, and the push continues from green though. More and more castles, more and more rams. Again, Melkor's losing a lot of houses, a lot of barracks as well. Not really getting onto his defense that he wants to go for. Third castle now though. Maybe if he saves this TC, he can still go onto the gold, but just in range of this castle, it's going so ugly for him. Timotheus is trying to clear it up, but now fighting under the range of some castles, that's not the best idea either, and therefore he is retreating here. Cortical clearing up some of the eagles left hand side, and oh god, over here as well, getting some sweet trade card kills and some villager kills as well, denying that third market from even getting up. And well, that seems to be a defensive castle, which is somewhat denied for a small period as well. More trade cards going down, and this is looking worse and worse. Big go here with all the boya. I cannot really say who's winning this, but most of the time if you fight under enemy castles, it's not going too great for you, especially if you don't have any big siege around to soak up any damage or kill the castles eventually. So yeah, he's winning this fight somewhat, but look at that, fighting under 5 castles, not really an option if you ask me. Third market finally goes up. Not a lot of control over the wood lines as well, and that's just such a massive forward base here. Melkor, pop 120, Timotheus 130. They're trying to hold desperately onto their tournament life here, as we said several times. If they lose one more game in this best of 7, they are out of this tournament, and all their dreams are over. Top 6 of this tournament are getting money. Another castle here by Pushing Grave. Pushgrave. I predicted 5 to 12. 5 to 12. Well, yeah, they didn't get their starts right. And that cost them. They already showed if they can go for the long game, and they can play Team Islands and probably Baltic pretty well as well. But, well, that wasn't the most important thing here today. This is over there, says Psychos, and I agree. They have so little map control, losing more and more castles over here, cannot really keep up with the production. They are kind of stabilizing again, but does he really have an answer to boyars? I don't really see it here. Am I missing any trade rates? Not really. Gee, Melkor did help out at the left-hand side. It's quite surprising to me. Now coming back, trying to save himself first. Prize pool is 100% private donations. If you want to donate as well, I can give you the link after this one. We very much appreciate it. Oh, Viper's asking me if I play some DM afterwards. And, well, probably we'll play some with Kellan against the Viper then. Should be some interesting games. But we will play this after this series finishes. So let's take a look. Still Melkor+Feanor holding on, and they're holding their ground on the yellow side. Now the question is, can they hold on the Melkor red side as well? At the moment, no answer to all those rams, losing more and more castles. Again, down to only 2 castles and no answer to all those rams. Warriors are coming over, but the archers again in the trade. Trade card amount somewhat at 60 compared to 90. G to the G. Melkor+Feanor out of this tournament. The first team of our rammers is out after performing pretty well and really forcing their enemies to the issue. Going to distance, going into a great series, and Bunkbusters advancing here, and next time they will be even stronger because today they played without their star player. Wrong map, wrong sis for last game. Yeah, Marion Slavs are just too fast. Atacama, brutal map for you guys as well. But you played an incredible series. And yeah, maybe if you get into a longer game, that could have been a bit better for you. It had been a better water map, that would have been better for you. Yeah, agreed. So for everyone who doesn't know, AoE2 is the shared account of Timotheus and Melkor there on Twitch. Good stuff. I'm happy with that series. That was super entertaining. And now let's say